Join me as I dive deep into the world of self-help and challenge the idea that it's actually helping us. Let's see if we can uncover what really works. Self-help has become an integral part of our lives. We're constantly being told that we need to improve, to be better, to be more productive, and to be happier. And the self-help industry is happy to oblige, offering us a gazillion ways to achieve our goals, from meditation to affirmations, from goal setting to visualization. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that's only growing bigger. But have you ever stopped to think about whether all this self-help is actually helping? The truth is, we've been conditioned to believe that self-help is the answer to all our problems. We're led to believe that if we just follow the right steps, if we just think positively enough, if we just work hard enough, we'll achieve our dreams. But what if that's not the case? What if self-help isn't actually helping us, but instead, it's just making us feel worse about ourselves? Today, we're going to challenge that idea and explore whether self-help is really worth the hype. We'll talk to people who've tried various self-help methods, and we'll examine the impact it's had on their lives. So, let's get started. The allure of self-help practices. One of the most common self-help practices is journaling. We've all been told that writing down our thoughts and feelings is a great way to process our emotions and gain clarity. Another popular practice is setting daily affirmations. We're told that if we just repeat positive phrases to ourselves every morning, we'll start to believe them and our lives will magically change. And then there's the classic goal setting, where we're encouraged to set big, ambitious targets for ourselves, and work towards achieving them. These practices are all well and good, but the question is, do they actually work? Do people who journal, set affirmations, and goal set actually achieve their goals? And more importantly, do they actually feel better about themselves? We're about to find out. Real-life experiences, the ups and downs. I've spoken to many people who've tried various self-help methods, and their stories are eye-opening. There's Sarah, who spent months journaling every day, only to feel more anxious and overwhelmed by her thoughts. There's John, who set daily affirmations, but found himself feeling like a failure when he couldn't live up to his own expectations. And there's Emily, who goal set like a pro, but ended up burning out from the pressure to constantly perform. However, not all stories are filled with frustration. Michael began meditating and found that it helped reduce his stress levels. Rachel wrote down her goals and realized it provided her a sense of direction and purpose. David started a gratitude journal and noticed a shift in his focus towards the positive aspects of his life. It's evident that self-help can have both positive and negative effects on people's lives. But what's really interesting is that many people experience a mix of both. They'll try a self-help method, feel great for a while, but then eventually crash and burn. And that's when the real frustration sets in. The emotional toll of unsuccessful self-help. When self-help doesn't lead to the expected improvements, it can be devastating. People start to feel like they're not good enough, that they're not trying hard enough, that they're somehow broken. They start to doubt themselves, their abilities, and their worth. And that's when the emotional and psychological impacts really start to kick in. I've seen people who've spent years trying different self-help methods, only to feel like they're stuck in a rut. They feel like they've wasted their time, their energy, and their money on methods that just don't work. They feel like they've let themselves down, and that's a really tough thing to deal with. A moment of clarity, what's the real problem? But then something surprising happens. One of the participants has a revelation, a moment of clarity that changes everything. They realize that the problem isn't them, it's the self-help industry itself. They realize that they've been sold a bill of goods, that the self-help industry is more interested in making money than actually helping people. For Emily, it was the realization that she'd been trying to fix herself for years, but she was still stuck in the same patterns. For John, it was the understanding that he'd been trying to fix his thoughts, but he was still stuck in the same mindset. And for Sarah, it was the awareness that she'd been trying to change her emotions, but she was still stuck in the same cycle of anxiety. This moment of revelation is a turning point for all of them. It's a moment of liberation, of freedom from the self-help trap. They start to see that they're not the problem, that the problem is the way the self-help industry operates. They start to see that they've been sold a false promise, that self-help is not the answer to all their problems. The cultural obsession with self-improvement. Our society has become increasingly obsessed with the idea of self-improvement. From social media influencers peddling their morning routines and productivity hacks to best-selling authors who promise that their books hold the keys to a happier, more successful life, the pressure to constantly work on ourselves has never been higher. But have we stopped to consider why we're so fixated on self-help in the first place? Part of the allure lies in the promises made by the self-help industry. The idea that we can transform our lives by following a few simple steps is incredibly appealing. It gives us a sense of control in an unpredictable world. However, this sense of control is often illusory. The self-help industry frequently promotes a one-size-fits-all approach to personal development, ignoring the complex and unique circumstances of each individual's life. The dark side of self-help. While there's no denying that self-help can offer valuable tools and insights, it often comes with a dark side. The relentless focus on self-improvement can lead to a harmful cycle of perpetual dissatisfaction. People begin to feel that no matter how much they achieve, it's never enough. They're constantly striving for a better version of themselves, which can be exhausting and demoralizing. Moreover, the emphasis on personal responsibility in self-help literature can be damaging. While taking responsibility for one's life is generally a good thing, it can go too far. When people fail to see the improvements they were hoping for, they often blame themselves, completely overlooking the external factors that may be at play. This can lead to feelings of guilt and inadequacy, exacerbating mental health issues rather than alleviating them. The placebo effect of self-help. Interestingly, some of the positive effects people experience from self-help may be attributed to the placebo effect. When people believe they are taking steps to improve their lives, they may feel better simply because they have a sense of agency and action. However, this feeling can be fleeting if the underlying issues remain unaddressed. Many self-help books and courses offer temporary relief, a short-term boost in motivation and optimism. Yet, when the initial excitement wears off, people are often left searching for the next book, course, or method to reignite that spark. This endless quest for self-improvement can become addictive, but it's rarely sustainable. The importance of self-acceptance. One critical aspect that's often missing from self-help literature is the importance of self-acceptance. While striving to be better can be admirable, it's equally crucial to appreciate and accept ourselves as we are. True well-being comes from a balance between self-improvement and self-acceptance. Recognizing our inherent worthiness, irrespective of our achievements, can be incredibly liberating. Self-acceptance doesn't mean complacency. It's not about giving up on growth but rather acknowledging that we are worthy and valuable in our current state. This mindset shift can make the journey of self-improvement more compassionate and less punishing. Alternative approaches. If traditional self-help methods aren't working for you, it might be time to explore alternative approaches. Here are a few ideas. 1. Therapy and counseling. Professional guidance can be incredibly beneficial. Therapists are trained to help you navigate complex emotions and mental health challenges in a way that books and courses cannot. 2. Community support. Engaging in group activities, support groups, or simply spending time with loved ones can provide a sense of connection and support that self-help books rarely offer. 3. Mindfulness and self-compassion. Practices like mindfulness meditation and self-compassion exercises can help you become more present and kind to yourself. 4. Balanced life approach. Instead of focusing solely on self-improvement, strive for a balanced life that includes relaxation, hobbies, and activities that bring you joy. Moving forward, what's right for you? Ultimately, the effectiveness of self-help methods varies from person to person. What works wonders for one individual might be ineffective or even harmful for another. The key is to approach self-help with a healthy dose of skepticism and self-awareness. Listen to your intuition and be willing to question whether a particular method is genuinely benefiting you or if it's adding unnecessary pressure. Have you ever felt disillusioned by the promises of the self-help industry? Have you found methods that work better for you? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more discussions on the topics that matter most. We're all on this journey together, so let's support each other along the way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.